Welcome to the deep dive. We got this stack of articles and notes here pulled together specifically for you.
That's right. You wanted to explore the daily habits of Sir Richard Branson, specifically his morning.
Exactly. And our mission here really is to go beyond just, get up early. We want to dig into these sources.
Yeah, find the core ideas, the insights, maybe some surprising stuff about how he actually structures his day, what these sources really say.
And what's interesting is how the material seems to link these, well, seemingly simple morning things to much bigger stuff. Leadership,
More
strategy.
momentum, even at 74, right?
Right. So let's just jump straight in.
Okay.
Okay. So first big thing that jumps out from, well, pretty much all these sources, it's about when he starts.
The 5 a.m. start, it's mentioned consistently,
Huh.
every day.
Rain or shine, apparently.
Yeah.
Even now, which is something.
Uh-huh. And the angle these sources take, it's not just the time itself, it's the why, the purpose.
Right. It's not about getting a jump on emails or anything.
No, he calls it his golden hour. It's framed as this protected, quiet time, carved out before, the chaos starts.
Yeah, that dedicated time. And the sources give examples of what he does then.
Things like strategical design, journaling, getting ideas down.
Or just getting active. There's that anecdote about him jumping in the ocean if he's near one. First thing.
Ah, yeah. And there's a direct quote in the material, too. He says, "Early mornings give me time to think, time to write, and time to exercise."
All things that are essential to a successful day. Pretty clear statement of intent.
Very. And the sources really contrast that with, the typical rushed morning.
The chaotic emails, the feeling late already.
Exactly. It makes the point that for Branson, at least as presented here, it's about taking control, setting the direction, not just reacting.
Taking control before the day starts pulling you everywhere.
And the other thing the material hammers home is the consistency. This isn't new for him.
Decades, they say.
Yeah, decades of this habit. That kind of discipline, it's presented as, well, foundational.
Okay, so that early focused window is key. Now, moving on. The sources are also super clear about the next step, exercise.
Yes, non-negotiable seems to be the message. It's the second core pillar.
Described as a daily thing, swimming, cycling, tennis.
Kite surfing, even. It's varied, but it's always physical movement.
But here's the really interesting bit from these sources, I think. It's how he apparently views it.
Right, not just working out.
No. The material keeps calling it brain fuel, critical for mental clarity.
That link between moving the body and sharpening the mind is a huge theme. There's that quote.
Oh, I seriously doubt
Oh,
one.
yeah. I seriously doubt that I would have been as successful in my career and happy in my personal life if I hadn't always placed importance on my health and fitness.
That's quite a statement. Directly linking success and happiness to fitness.
And the sources try to back this up, mentioning studies on how exercise boosts cognitive function, mood, memory, creativity.
All the stuff you need for high-level thinking, basically.
Pretty much. And then there's that fascinating anecdote.
The one about where his best ideas come from.
Exactly. That some major breakthroughs, even billion-dollar deals, didn't happen in a boardroom.
But like on a bike ride.
Yeah.
Or paddling. During that morning exercise time.
Yeah. It kind of flips the script, doesn't it?
It really does. It positions fitness as almost a leadership tool, a productivity hack.
That's how the sources frame it, helping him stay, quote, 10 steps ahead.
Okay, so we've got the early start for focus, exercise for clarity. How does this connect to bigger strategy?
Well, the material draws the line from this morning mindset to that huge shift he made, going from managing over 400 companies down to about 40.
Right, the big consolidation.
And the rationale given in the sources isn't about failure, it's about focus. Success wasn't just doing more, it was doing better.
Making the remaining ones more impactful. Getting rid of stuff that didn't fit the bigger picture.
Or lacked long-term potential, yeah. The sources detail the actions. Selling, shutting down, spinning off.
Which takes guts.
Absolutely. But it's presented as an evolution, getting wiser about resource allocation.
There's another quote tied to this, isn't there? About adapting.
Uh-huh. To be a successful entrepreneur, you have to be willing to adapt, to pivot, and sometimes to say no.
Saying no, that's the hard part, often.
It is. And the principle highlighted is that focus amplifies power. Concentrating on those core ventures, the argument goes, made the whole group stronger, more resilient.
And you can kind of see how that morning clarity, the quiet time, the exercise, might help make those tough calls. That ability to prioritize and say no.
It seems plausible, right? Which brings us nicely to the fourth key idea, really tying it all together.
Which is
That this whole morning routine, according to these sources, isn't just about managing your time. It's about gaining fundamental control.
control of the day,
Yeah.
which then ripples outwards.
Exactly. Control over the ventures, the assets, your energy, because in those early hours, he's planning, reflecting, prioritizing.
He's setting the agenda, as the sources put it, not just reacting to emails or news.
Right. And the consequence is huge. If you're always reacting, you get pulled around. If you set the agenda, you direct things. You protect your time, your energy, your most valuable assets.
Steer the ship, basically.
Pretty much. And there's that other quote, if you get the first hour of your day right, the rest will follow.
Simple, but powerful.
And the sources suggest this control, honed in the morning, has been vital for him. Navigating crises, launching big things, staying agile for, well, decades.
You can see why managing that level of complexity, clarity would be absolutely essential. It's not optional.
No way. And the material makes a strong case. That clarity starts with that disciplined, intentional morning.
So when you look at all these points together, the message from these sources seems pretty consistent.
Yeah, it feels like the takeaway is this incredible energy, this huge empire. It's not just luck or genius.
It's rooted in these consistent, deliberate habits before most people have had their first coffee. Waking early, moving, thinking.
That's the bedrock, according to this material. Built over decades. It builds momentum, builds legacy.
Okay, so let's bring this back to you listening and the material we've dived into. These sources really hammer home that Branson's, let's call it, billion-dollar energy and empire seem deeply connected to his morning discipline.
And they contrast it sharply with chasing quick fixes, hacks, or starting the day in just chaos. Discipline and clarity are the themes here.
And the point isn't that you need billions to start thinking this way. The implication is that working towards your kind of freedom, leading your way, building something, it starts with how you handle your morning.
Which leaves us with the final thought, kind of a challenge, pulled straight from these insights about Branson.
Go on.
If these sources are right, and controlling that first hour lets someone like Branson set the agenda, manage huge assets, stay sharp into his 70s, what possibilities might taking more deliberate control of your first hour unlock for you? Things you maybe haven't even considered yet.
That's definitely something to chew on. Based on these sources, it really frames the start of the day as a choice, doesn't it? Are you reacting or are you creating? Chasing or leading? That first hour seems pretty critical.